I'm gonna show you guys one thing I do not like about the Ram, and I noticed this on my last RHO. See this little icon on that bottom left-hand corner right there? My front sensors won't work. And right now they won't work because there's a little snow on the front bumper, and I've already cleared that off. Okay, so you don't have hands-free driving. You can't use hands-free driving, it disables that. Totally get it. You also lose adaptive cruise control. But the roads are clear, there's not any snow or ice on them. I'd like to at least have cruise control. Nope, you can't even use a standard cruise control. This is something that I'd like to see Ram make a change in the future, where you could not only disable adaptive cruise, but you could make it where you could just have standard cruise, because there's no way to make this where, yeah, I can't even turn it on right now. It's saying everything's unavailable, clean sensors. Yeah, so this is an area, and I've seen this when it's dirty out, or if you get bugs on it, or if you get snow or anything like that, you got no cruise control. So now if you got a long road trip, well, you got no cruise control, unfortunately, until you get out of the vehicle and go clean off the sensors. What's up, guys? Barry at CTech-review. Today, we're gonna do our 3,000 mile review on our 2026 Ram 1500 RHO. I'm gonna tell you about the good, but there are some things that annoy me. And now that the new 2027 TRX is out, what does it make me think about the value of the RHO? Let's do this. Let's start with the RHO versus the new TRX. I got a lot of thoughts on this. I deep dive in another video where I talk about the value of the new TRX. So definitely check that out. But I'm gonna give you in a nutshell what I think. How I think about these trucks when I buy these is value. The RHO has been a best in class value truck, and I still think it's the case even though the new TRX is out. And I'll tell you why. Because the new TRX starts at $30,000 more MSRP, including destination charges, than a base level RHO. Now, what we don't know yet at the time of this video is what are the base options on the TRX versus the RHO to justify that $30,000 price increase. Now, if you're new to RHOs, TRXs, or sport trucks, that might look like a ridiculous sum of money difference, and I won't disagree, guys. 73 grand, $103,000, a crap ton of money, all of them. But if you compare it to the competition, Raptor versus Raptor R, it's about $30,000 more. So their pricing differentiation is not much different, but I would still say, arguably, this is a better value than the Raptor and Raptor R. Each of those trucks provide almost 10 to 20% more power. As an example, on a sidetrack, 540 horse, base Raptor 450, 20% more power. Raptor R, 720 horse, 777 on TRX, 10% more power. Now, specific to value of RHO versus TRX, $30,000. To some people, they're gonna buy the TRX regardless. But I'm gonna tell you some things that I don't think the TRX is gonna be able to do as well as this truck. Number one, if you're after smoothness, you cannot beat this Hurricane engine. And what do I mean by smoothness? This powertrain going down the road is absolutely phenomenal. If you are looking for highway, long cruising comfort, especially towing, this motor is incredible. Rocky Road and I are actually going to be doing a video soon comparing Raptor R versus RHO, because we both had these trucks. And we're going to talk about some things that I think are going to surprise some people. But this has been one of the best towing gas engines I've ever owned and did a review on, because of the low end performance this thing drives at less than 3,000 RPMs. Second thing why I think this is a better value than the TRX, well, fuel economy. After pricing, I bet this thing still gets 3 to 5 miles per gallon better fuel economy. And for some people, they'd say, if you buy a truck like this, fuel economy shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, I can understand that point, but most people still put that in their calculation. The other thing, off-road performance. I will still argue the 200-300 pounds lighter weight truck, this will be better off-road than the TRX. Okay, warranty. At the time of this video, what we don't know quite yet is what will the warranty be on the new TRX versus this 26 RHO. This truck here got the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. If the new TRX got that, well, that would be a good thing too. Now the other thing, seating, interior, it's identical. There's nothing different than the TRX versus the RHO, except maybe some different stitching. I like that they've got a leather cover over the airbag, not a big deal. Every video we've seen so far, it looks like the glove box may have been removed and or brought back and the screen is gone, which arguably I would actually, some people really like that screen. For me, it does nothing. I would actually prefer the glove box. I think the number one concern I've got with the new TRX versus the old TRX is this new electrical architecture, the Atlantis, I think that's the name of the electrical architecture system. They replace ECM, TCM, PCM, all the new connectivity of the vehicle. That's been one of the biggest headaches of the new RHO and the 2025 Rams. Will that be settled and figured out in the new TRX? I'm hoping that is the case, because the engines are not the issue with these RHOs and the Hurricanes. And the TRX, no one thinks they'll have an engine powertrain issue. It's been electrical issues. The good news about this new electrical architecture, from what I'm told, one of the main benefits to it is they're not as easily stolen. And that's another thing I don't care for about the TRX, is having to worry about your vehicle getting stolen at every place you go. So that's another nice thing. Hopefully that is the case with the new TRX as well. 3,000 miles, fuel economy. Now, I've had this truck only during wintertime use, and it's still in break-in. We're about to do our first oil change. Myself and one of the G4 guys, car guy online, we're gonna do an oil analysis comparison of this. Got 3,000 miles on it. I'm not gonna stretch this one out to 6,000 like the last time doing our first oil change. We're gonna do this at like 3,000 miles and compare the results. Until the motor is broken in, we'll see some improvements in fuel economy. So far for fuel economy, what I've noticed so far is I think we're around 13, and I'll show you that. Highway about 13 in the highway. It's 75 to 80 is what it seems like it likes to go. The only issue I've had so far is a vibration issue. One caveat actually. I actually ended up just going to Discount Tire, and they found 2 of the tires were significantly out of balance. I've now had those tires balanced, and it feels great. Here's the caveat, the other issue. I thought it was a Ram issue, sort of still a Ram issue, but also a little bit of a Berry issue. I apologize, guys. I've been telling you about all these connectivity issues, and I think the majority of my connectivity issues are actually with Apple CarPlay, based on an issue that I didn't understand how to use this system correctly. What I mean is, when you connect to Apple CarPlay, I have been using this in the past where I would plug this in to port 1 or 2, and this connect, or I would use USB-C, USB-C, or USB-A to C, and then I would connect this into my phone, and I was having issues with CarPlay not connecting, not working. I have pretty much fixed, I would say 98% of my issues of CarPlay connecting to my phone, because I'm no longer connecting my phone to that, and I just use wireless charging. Now, when I get into the vehicle, the first procedure I do is start it up, let the engine warm up for a second, and I let this thing sync naturally to my iPhone. Then if I need to charge the phone fast and I don't use the wireless, make sure to plug into the third port over here, which is a charging only port. That seemed to fix my CarPlay issues. The other thing I've noticed that I've made a change on is on the steering. Went into my drive modes, and I've changed my steering feel. I think it's to rock. I noticed that I was getting more feedback into the steering wheel than I would like, and it softened it up. It just made it a little bit softer going down the road. Our roads are terrible in Michigan this time of the year. But otherwise, guys, everything is working great. I have noticed a few times where my screen will come up on the CarPlay and say like, hey, Ram, connect. And I think that's a little goofy. I don't know why it does that. The truck is officially broken in because we did have one of the kids throw up in here. That was pretty rough, but luckily it didn't get all over anything. But the truck is broken in now. As far as mods, I think I've talked about this in other videos. We got the rock blocks, original. These are the original front mud flaps, but we are going to be swapping out to our wide ones for wintertime. We got the Ram Mopar off-road running boards. I ran these because I like their aluminum, a little lighter weight, and provides that protection down the rocker panel. And you can kind of see right now, notice the protection. We don't have much debris in this area, but where do you still get it? Right here. So this is where, once I go to my larger front mud flaps, that'll protect. Running the rock blocks in the rear as well. We got the Tonneau Pro cover back here. Otherwise, not a whole lot of changes. Got our America flag here. We've got our dash cam, and I got links to all these if you guys are interested. I've got the, I think this is the Viofo A329 with our donger connector, which just gives it a hardwire connection. Very cool. Not had one battery issue, not one weird startup issue. The Ram Connect, hands-free. Literally, I had one issue with the hands-free, not one powertrain issue, not one trans issue, nothing. We shouldn't have these issues in 3,000 miles of ownership, but at least I figured I'd share with you guys. Also, the other thing I'm gonna be keeping an eye on is the sensitivity of these front sensors. I noticed in my 25, man, if there was just one little dust, they would freak out on the front. Your hands-free would not work. So we're gonna keep an eye on that as well. I definitely tell you guys, check out this other video that's gonna be coming here, comparing and thoughts on the new TRX, because I had to think about this for about a day or so before I wanted to actually make this video, because I wasn't really sure when this TRX launch took place. But anyhow, guys, I got really nothing crazy to report on the 2026 RHO. It's a great truck. It's a great value. I still think it's best in class for your dollar today here in 2026. Hey guys, I hope you guys have a great new year. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the channel a lot, feel free to subscribe. Have a good one.